Why do we only have 20 minutes? Do I need to get rid of some stuff? Welcome to our channel, Stress Induced Left Eye Twitch. I'm Jillian.
I'm Bo.
This is Mom.
And that child staring at the screen intently is my daughter, Bea.
Yes, Bea.
Bea's 3 months old and 13 weeks. Mom's just showing her, and then she's going to bring her back inside for a nap.
Yep. Okay,
so
goodbye.
That was great. Thanks.
We're still here. We're still here.
Oh, don't knock it over. All right. So this is going to be a life update. We have a lot to update you
We have been
all
gone
on.
for a long time, guys.
Almost a month, I think. We've had a lot.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll just briefly.
Mine's separated.
Oh, stop coming so close to me.
Separated.
Okay, so a lot has gone on. If you follow us on any of our social media accounts, you will have seen that my father-in-law just recently passed away. He passed away last Wednesday, so like a week ago. And he got sick like 2 weeks before that. We ended up rushing him to the hospital in an ambulance, and it was very confusing. We still don't really know what he died of. Like, it wasn't a stroke, it wasn't anything with his heart.
He's
no.
in his 50s.
He had a lot of like health problems with his heart and stuff, but it wasn't anything to do with that. We're still kind of reeling from all of that. So and that's why we've been like, gone recently.
It was a quick thing, but like they were in the hospital.
Yeah.
For over
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and with him and the whole family. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't he just died one day. Like, it was a process.
It was like maybe a week and a half he was on the hospital.
So like her whole family on her husband's side has just been in town, and then they spent hours upon hours.
Yeah, we
hours
spent all day every single day. Like,
and
we would get there, we'd stay at the hospital, take Jordan home for a nap, come back, spend until like 10 o'clock at the hospital.
And he had something where you, like, they weren't sure, so they had to wear masks.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah,
him.
so he had, like, at first they told us, well, maybe he had meningitis, maybe he has tuberculosis, maybe he has West Nile. I mean, we honestly, it's such a conundrum, which I would expect nothing less from our lives
and
for it to be a huge
He wasn't
mystery.
born in America. Like, he came over from a different country, and so he might like have something from there that nobody
Laos.
knows. Yeah.
We have no idea. So we're still trying to figure that out. But the funeral is this weekend, and it's just been such a mess. We did start a GoFundMe for him and his wife. Not for him, but in honor of him, to take care of like funeral expenses and his wife. So I'll put that in the link below if anybody's interested.
He didn't have any life insurance.
He did, but it was very minimal. I mean, they're first generation Hmong people that came to America. Like, he came to America with his family, and I mean, they just made a home for themselves here out of nothing. I mean, they had nothing. They had no support, anything. So, yeah, we've just been spending a lot of time with my mother-in-law and trying to support my husband, and it's been a lot. But, I mean, the funeral's this weekend, so I'm hoping life will calm down a little.
Go back to normal a little bit.
Yeah. But on top of that, we have a lot of other things to share with you.
My daughter, so on my side of things, I had told you guys, I think during one of the second videos we showed her, I don't remember which one, that she had not passed her newborn hearing screening, and so she went in at 2 weeks and had one that was inconclusive results because she was awake the whole time. And then we went in at 2 months for, they're called ABRs, and they measure their brain waves for hearing. And we were told she had moderate hearing loss. Well, mild to moderate hearing loss in both of her ears, so it's called sensorineural bilateral hearing loss. So, permanent hearing loss with both ears that are the same. So we got a second opinion.
We were all very shocked.
Yeah, very, I mean, if you talk to her, if you interact with her, she coos, she smiles, she interacts with you, and so
she seems to respond to noise, like even light noise, like Bo tapping. on
Yeah,
something.
and so we're just kind of learning what that means. So we got a second opinion. It was about the same results. So we've just been in the process of so many doctor's appointments. She will have her hearing aids put in on the 16th. But what we know so far is that mild to moderate hearing losses, she can hear a normal conversation like this. And if any of you deal with this or have dealt with this or anything like
any info would
we
be
would
great.
love
Yeah.
any, because this is all uncharted territory. This child, we love her to death, but has a lot of drama in her life.
She's so dramatic.
So dramatic. She's so freaking cute, but she's dramatic. So she can hear a conversation 2 feet away and at a normal hearing. But the further that you get away, or the softer your voice becomes, or the more like background noise, she can't hear parts of speech. So she would be missing out on parts of speech like S, and I think P is one of them, and just like some of those softer sounds. So she might be hearing this when we're talking, but she might be hearing it like, whoa, 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 instead of like our actual speech.
Like the Charlie Brown teacher.
Yeah, but again, we don't know, and we won't know until she is old enough to do these Booth tests, where she can turn to sound and we can interpret sound a little bit better, because all it did was measure her brain waves.
She for sure has hearing loss. Like at first we were like, I think because we were just so uneducated in it, we were like, well, you know, maybe because she was asleep, she didn't get as good of readings, or how can they really know?
Yeah.
Well, they know because they literally measure her brain activity. And the more asleep she is, the better the test results are, as weird as that is.
Our second opinion was great because they explained all of that to us. So what they showed, you guys might know some of this, some of you might not. It showed her brainwave. So when she was awake, her brainwave was like this, because she was taking in so much stimuli through her eyes, through touch, through all this stuff. And when she goes into a deep sleep, it literally was like a straight line. And so then they would play sounds, like a clicking and a beeping sound, and it would react to that. Yeah. And so then sound has a wave, and they would match her response up to that wave. Yeah. And when it started to become not a match is when they said she couldn't hear that same level. Yeah. So she can hear her losses at 45 to 50 decibels, which is the mild to moderate, more on the moderate side. And so she, will have hearing aids in both of her ears for the rest of her life. I'm trying to think what else. We were talking to a doctor last week, and because I, as a new mom, and my husband were like, is it something that happened in pregnancy? Is it something that went on with her birth? Because it was kind of a rough birth, but they said it was a rough birth. And so just those external things, I was like, could I have gotten sick? All of this stuff. Yeah. There's something called CMV, which women can get, and it's a sickness. But all these things have a more likelihood that the damage would be a difference in the ears. And so she might hear better in this ear or better in this ear, and it would just look different as far as how much she could hear. With genetics, you usually get the same uniform loss in both ears, because when you're forming, the cochlears form at the same time, and they must have just genetically been off. So they're leaning towards more genetics. We are doing genetic testing with her because we want to know, for her sake, if we can, if it will be something that progresses, because that's always like a option of what could happen with hearing loss. It could get worse, severe and profound. So we as parents want to make sure that, okay, if that is likely, do we want to pursue more sign language in the home? Do we want to pursue, her options of a cochlear eventually, stuff like that? And so right now she's not a candidate for that, because it's not that kind of loss. And then with signing, we are implementing just like the baby stuff right now, so that's what we're going to do. And then for future children, if it's something that Naya and my genetics came together, if the likelihood, of another kid, that would not stop any of us or us from having a kid, but we would be a little bit more, I guess, prepared. Yeah. But I was telling Julie, I feel like, yes, this is incredibly hard. We were in a doctor's office, though, like the other day with her doing all this stuff, and I was sitting in a room full of like these babies that had a bunch of syndromes and a bunch of like complete deafness, their parents said, or like you could see something was off, and there's a lot more stuff. And so far she's met all of her developmental milestones. Like, they're not concerned right now about her needing like what is it, OT and PT, like the gross motor skills and the fine motor skills stuff. And we're praying that it's an isolated thing, just in her hearing, that it's not going to become progressive.
That it's not linked to a syndrome.
That it's not linked to a syndrome. I don't remember if I had it.
Which, honestly, even if it was, it obviously doesn't change how we feel about her at all. But, like, now that we know this is a real thing, like, we have to change our prayer. Not like that God can't do a miracle with it. But, like, I mean, there's not something wrong with Bea. She's just born differently. Mm-hmm. And we're praying that, you know, that she has the happiest, most fulfilling life. And that these things don't hold her back or become a crutch in her life. And it's not like we would love her any less if she has a syndrome. But, like, you don't want your child to meet those be put through those kind of difficulties that they don't have to.
As far as, like, oh gosh.
Wait, what is it?
It's a locust killer.
Oh, wow. It's called cicada killer.
Oh, okay. It isn't that. Like, and this might sound selfish as a new mom, but I'm wanting to deal with one thing.
One thing at a time.
My child, she's very opinionated. She's a great kid. She's become so much more content, so much more happy.
Yeah.
But as a mom, like, I don't want to have her going in for appointments for her eyes, on top of her ears, on top of like, all this stuff. And I do believe in a big God, and I think that He can stop this wherever it is, and we can deal with it. And that's what I want. And we will take whatever comes our way. We love her to death.
We've already had to adjust to a lot with Bea, girls. She is a queen. She is just very Sorry, we're being attacked by bugs out here.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. It's just a house fly.
Oh.
She's just but Bo's right. She's, like, chilled out a ton, but she still, like, is so tiny. Mm-hmm. She's just a bundle of opinions. We're at our max right now. I don't think we can handle anything else.
Yeah, both of us are just, like, I came into the house, we hung out obviously this morning, and I came in and
we haven't hung out in, like 3 weeks.
Spit up everywhere, and I just started crying, because I was like, I'm, like, trying to keep this child fed, and I'm trying to keep, like, I'm thinking about, she spits up a lot. She has acid reflux. She has a lot of stuff.
She spits up more. If you think, hey, my baby spits up a lot too. No, you've seen nothing until you've seen Bea.
And so I'm, like, trying to keep that, and then I, like, have this fear in my mind thought in my mind of having hearing aids on a child that is constantly vomiting or, like, spitting up all this stuff. It's just a lot of anxiety and a lot of, like, stuff that we're both going through.
Oh my gosh. And we just need, like, a reprise. What's that? I don't know.
I don't think that's a word.
I think it is. Like a reprieve. That's the word. Like an asylum. That's a political victim. Yes, it is. I had to write my father-in-law's
Okay, but we need to wrap this up because I'm so sweaty.
Alright, well, we have to wrap it up anyways because...
What if Aiden's just screaming in their two mums?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, Aiden is... They don't even know who Aiden is. Aiden's just this beautiful little baby I watch who's my best friend's son. We'll get into it later.
Story time
to come. Story time.
A really cool story time.
Alright, well, thanks for checking in on us. Thank you for all your love and support. We have tons more videos coming up, but it might be staggered for a while. Just sometimes life comes. I mean, again, we don't get paid for this job.
We do. Somebody doesn't know how to link her stuff so we can get our AdSense money. Bye.
Bye.
It's been real. It's not been